Hey guys, how you doing? I'm losing light. I'm about 6 or 7 k's in. I need to find a campsite. Let's do this. Thank you very much for clicking on another video. I really appreciate it. I've got about an hour of light left. I've got to find a campsite. So I haven't had much luck in finding a decent campsite yet. What I'm looking for is a bit of flat ground, hopefully some grass, and a view of this awesome river that I'm walking along. I've been walking along this river now for about 7 or 8 kilometers, and yeah, it's time to stop. The backpack is feeling very heavy. I'm not feeling very fit. I'm completely exhausted. So yeah, it's time to stop. Have a look at this. Have a look at this green, grassy river flat. So there's no shortage of places there I can camp. The problem though is in this area there's a heap of wild horses. I came across a couple before in the bush. There's absolutely a sign of them everywhere. The place is pretty trash, to be honest. I really want to try and find a spot that has good visibility and is not on an obvious track, so I'm not going to get trampled. So yeah, I'm looking for a safe spot. So I'm just going to hopefully find a little flat bit of ground that's just tucked away with a few trees around, just to give me a bit of protection. Maybe I'm being paranoid, but I think it's worth being safety conscious out here. It's a beautiful temperature for walking. It was about 22 degrees when I got out of the car. This is a fair drive. This is a 4.5 hour drive from my place, so I didn't get here till quite late, and yeah, wasn't quite what I was expecting, so I spent a good half hour sort of re-evaluating my plans. So this is plan B, and yeah, I've just spent a few hours just trying to get back in the groove. Heavy backpack, and now we'll set up camp. Oh, all right. I've walked as far as I can, so I don't think I'm going to find the ultimate campsite tonight. So it's going to be a matter of making do. There was a spot back here that wasn't too bad, so I'm going to head back there and see what we can make of it. Oh. Crazy. That's about the 4th or 5th horse skull I've seen. Alrighty, well there's plenty of flattish green grassy ground here, so certainly not too bad. That tree's pretty cool. maybe somewhere down here. I wouldn't set up across here, just because this could be a bit of a trail. Let's have a look around here. Actually, this is pretty cool. This is an ant highway. You can see all the little critters, all the ants. And they walk this path often enough that you can see a very clear, distinguished line in the grass. Isn't that amazing? It goes for meters and meters and meters, all the way up there. Oh my goodness, I'm literally just walking around in circles. It's almost time to go and get a thinking beer, I think. I also have two options for camping tonight. I wasn't sure what the terrain will be like, so I took my hammock and my little bug net. So I've got my tarp as well. Oh, I feel it's been ages since I've done a hammock camp. I think I might bust a hammock out. So that narrows it out. I need 2 decent trees. Alrighty, this is option A. I've got a decent little eucalypt here, which I can tie the tarp off and the hammock off to. I need at least 3 meters of clearance, because that's how wide my tarp is. I think that's just 3 meters. And then nice bit of flat ground, so my stuff's not going to go everywhere. I've got some trees around me for just a little bit of protection, and I can see the river, so that's pretty cool. What else have we got? I can tie off to this little acacia tree, and then to this big gum tree. That's plenty of space. There's a few ants down here as well, so probably not. I think I'm going to make this spot work. I can't even remember if this is the one I showed you or not. I think it was. Actually no, it's the next tree over. So this was option A. Option B was down there, and then this is option C. Nothing but blue sky above. There is a little ant heap here, which is unfortunate, but they seem to be pretty much everywhere in this spot. I've got a bit of timber here, which just makes me feel a little bit more protected. Oh, tell you what, the bag is not getting any lighter. Pretty much the rule, isn't it? Whatever you want to the bottom of your bag. Alrighty, so I've got my pre-set up ridgeline. I do need to learn how to do the quick deploy coiling. Now, because I'm using my hammock as well, I want to make sure I've got my ridgeline at a decent height, so I've got enough height for the hammock straps. This third trunk over here is probably the best. So that's just the taut line hitch. It's the one I use most often. Now this ridge line's actually fairly long. Much longer than I need for this. But yeah, it's handy when you have big old trees that you're trying to set up to. Nice and tight. This is where it's a bit of a pain with a longer bit of cord, but it's doable. I will learn how to do the trucker's hitch one day, but that day is not today. Okay. Yeah, I really like the taut line hitch. It works. That's why I keep using it. Now I'm just doubling up the cord and tying it so it's neat. Now this bit always does my head in. I'm just setting up the 3x3 metre on a diagonal. Tell you what, that just fits. So I'm just getting some toggles from the ground. I've got Prusik loops, that's the red little cord on the ridge line. And I'll give you a look at that. Actually remember to bring some pegs this time. That's not a half bad pitch. I'm pretty happy with that. Alright, let's get the hammock up. So today's hammock is care of Alton Goods. Sam sent me this hammock to try, oh geez, almost a year ago. So I'm really sorry it's taking me this long to get it out and about, Sam. It just hasn't been right to do it. I have used this hammock on a couple of, just a couple of sort of family holidays and car camping trips and that kind of thing. It's been really good so far. I've actually got my whoopee slings from Tier Gear in Tasmania. If you've never used a whoopee sling, they're absolutely amazing. Sam did actually send me some really nice tree straps, but they're just a little bit heavy for this style of camping. And I've since seen that Alton Goods is making a similar product to this. So yeah, this is last year's hammock. I believe that Alton Goods has now got a lighter version, which is pretty cool. And they're making all sorts of really cool stuff at the moment. So they've got a new 3x3 tarp that I've seen a few other people use, which looks really cool. So yeah, great to see the range expanding and more of this stuff being available in Australia. It's really good. Now I've got plenty of space, so I'm going to try and actually might get this as tall as I can. The problem with with hammocks, you just got to be a little bit finicky with the size. Actually, I might loop my this tree strap of the whoopee sling around a few times just to give me a bit more room to play with. That's not too bad actually. I wouldn't mind it just being a touch higher. So yeah, might just tweak that again. Well, that's worked out pretty well. It was definitely worth wandering around in circles for a few minutes there when I got here. Yeah, really happy with the setup. turned out pretty well. Every time I sit in the hammock though, the trees shake and put all this stuff on the tarp. Oh well, doesn't matter. Really comfy hammock. Nice. Looks like the tarp's actually lost a bit of tautness, so I might have to go just adjust that in a sec. But first I need some water. Oh, far out guys, I've been so busy. Yeah, one of the reasons you haven't seen me for a while is just I've been working 10, 11, 12 hour days. Just really high pressure kind of environment, and yeah, I just haven't had time to come out and do a camp. Plus it's been the summer from hell. The bushfires have been absolutely atrocious. The weather's been awful. It's been really hot. Had all those fires. Then had a massive hailstorm in Canberra, which wiped out like 10,000 cars or something. Just golf ball size hail, insane. And then we've had rain as well. So we've had it all. It's been crazy. So yeah, it's nice to be out here. Well, I haven't got all that much light left, so I should probably go get some water and then maybe think about some dinner. I do actually have a little bug net that I can slide over the hammock. There's not a lot of bugs at the moment, so I might not need it. We'll see how it goes a bit later on. Alright, let's finish this off. So I definitely need to filter my water. There's a lot of evidence of horses, and including a lot of horse dung around the place. So I'm sure the water, although it looks clean, definitely isn't. So I'm just putting 3 litres into my Camelback, and then I'll hook up my Sawyer filter and just turn this into a bit of a gravity filter. What are you doing, champ? Scared the bejeebers out of me. I'm just looking for something to help secure my beers in the river so they get a little bit cooler but don't necessarily flow away. Old mate water dragon. Whew, they got the heart going. Alrighty, time for dinner. I am starving. Problem is, there's bloody ants everywhere. I was going to sit on that log behind me, but yeah, there was ants crawling on that. There's ants on the ground. There's ant on my bloody pot. Unacceptable. Alright. I'm not going to have a fire tonight. There is no fire ban in this location. But with everything that's happened this summer, I'm just not feeling it at the moment. So I'm just going to wait until it gets a little bit colder and there's a bit more rain. So when I planned this trip, I was thinking of coming out for 2 days, and I may still do that, but I may head home tomorrow. I've never been here before. Did a bit of research, but didn't have time to do a lot of research. So when I got here, I actually was expecting to drive into the car park. There's a little picnic area and sort of campground right near the road, and there was like 50 people there. There was like some sort of motorcycle club that was meeting down there, and then it turned out it was also a sort of an area where you can go horse riding. So there's people out and about on horses. So yeah, not necessarily the wilderness experience that I was hoping for, but I've come far enough upstream that there isn't anyone around here for sure. So yeah, we'll just see how we feel in the morning, but I reckon I might head home tomorrow. Just give me a day at home to relax a little bit before heading back to work, and the next couple of weeks are going to be completely crazy. So I'm just pulling food out of my bag. I've got no idea what I'm going to cook. I'll make something. I'm sure it'll be delicious. What have I got? Spinach, ricotta and parmesan, rice and quinoa, and mushroom and chive. I reckon I might go mushroom and chive. And then I've got some shallots and some bacon, so I might fry those up too. Oh, and a zucchini. Homegrown zucchini from home. Alright, put everything else back that I don't need. There is actually quite a few mosquitoes hanging around now I've got the lights on, so I might have to get that bug net out after all. I'm a huge fan of Swiss Army knives, so yep, you'll be probably seeing a few of these in my upcoming videos, just different Swiss Army knives that I have and really enjoy using. So I'm just going to chop up a couple of shallots. Alright, chuck those in my pot. Got 2 rashers of bacon. I'm just going to slice those up. And then my homegrown zucchini. This is going to be a pretty big meal, but I'm actually starving. Whoop, zucchini down. Alright, got all my goodies in here. Got the rice and the water on the boil now. So what I'm going to do, rather than just keep it on the boil for 5 or so minutes, I'm just going to turn it off and let the rice soak in the moisture and rehydrate that way, rather than burning through a ton of gas and actually getting stuff stuck in the bottom. So that'll just that'll do its thing. I reckon I might go down quickly to the river and grab a beer. Alright, exciting news, my beers were still there. So I've got a German beer tonight. It's called Nectar of the Gods. It's an Imperial IPA from Frau Gruber. Cheers, guys. Probably don't need to tell you guys, that is phenomenal. Malty, hoppy goodness. Yeah, that'll play nicely. Oh, it's working a treat. There's a whole bunch of burnt leaves everywhere. So this is probably the largest area of bushland that hasn't burnt in the southern New South Wales. And the fire grounds are certainly some ways away, but yeah, there's a whole, everywhere you look there's these little burnt leaves everywhere. So they've obviously come in on those big pyrocumulus clouds, and yeah, geez, what a horrendous summer it was. Amazing, absolutely amazing. Oh yeah, straight away. Gee, this stove is an absolute rocket. Yeah, this is the Soto Windmaster. I actually had one of my subscribers comment, I can't remember if it was Instagram or if it was on YouTube, but yeah, he said he watched my last video and went out and bought one straight away, so that's pretty cool. It's a great little stove. Geez, it burns hot. I've got a sneaking suspicion it goes through a fair bit of gas, but yeah, we'll just keep an eye on it and see how it goes. I might just need to keep it dialed down a bit. Ugh. My bale handle has come off and it's fairly hot. Alright, there we go. Alright, I'm going to sit here, let this rehydrate, enjoy my beer. Back with you shortly. Oh, that looks pretty good. There's a little bit of liquid there, but the rice is certainly swollen up very nicely. It's got that smoky onion, garlic, bacon flavour. Oh, that's really, really good. That's not bad for a little stove meal. I probably do have a little bit of a little bit of my dinner stuck to the bottom of this. I'll try and I'll get some water from the river after dinner and I'll just give it a quick steam, just to try and get that flavour out for my coffee in the morning. Oh, it's fantastic. Back to you guys shortly. Alright, so I've just been down to the river. There's something moving in the bushes, which is always fun when you can't see where it is. So I gave the pot a good scrub out. Got most of the dinner out of it. Oh, and while that's doing its thing, I've got a pretty cool beer from one of my favourite breweries, Garage Project from New Zealand. Anyway, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that one. It's got a hop that is from the hemp family, I think. I'm sure it's going to be delicious. Oh wow, that's quite bitter for a IPA. Very drinkable though. Alright, don't want to waste too much gas on this, but let's give that another 20 seconds. Alright, I'll call that good. Somewhere between here and the river, the little bale handle came out, so I hope I can find that in the morning. It's probably sitting in the river somewhere. Yeah, YouTube wise in Australia, massive achievement from Chris Bamman. Does some awesome fishing and adventure videos. He hit 100,000 subscribers earlier in the year. That's a phenomenal effort from an Aussie channel, so yeah, great to see him do so well. I don't know if you've seen it, but Scotty's latest video too, Scotty's Got Walkabouts, complete level up. That was just beautifully filmed, beautifully edited. It's really cool to see like what's happening out there in YouTube now in this kind of genre, for want of a better word. And yeah, Scotty's giving us something all to aim for, so it's really, really cool. And yeah, a channel I've mentioned before as well, Hiker in Australia. He did a great little video a week or two ago where he's bought a pack raft and he kind of showed that, and that was really exciting for me, so I'll put a link for that video up here. Go check it out. Let me know, drop a comment below if you think I should get a pack raft and extend my repertoire of adventures. I've been thinking about it for a long time, and seeing his review and just looked like a lot of fun and a pretty easy boat to handle. So yeah, go check out his video. So I did actually get the bug net out and put it on. There's just a lot of bugs flying around, probably because they got the lights on. But I'd rather have a good night without mozzies buzzing around my ears. So yeah, it's pretty easy actually. All I did was unclip the carabiners at either end, and then unzipped it, put the hammock in there, threaded through either end, zipped her up, and yeah, there's little clips on top to hang to the ridgeline. So yeah, it's worked out really well. If you've already got a hammock, you can pick up one of these bug nets from Alton Goods, or Alton Goods, I'm not sure how you say it. Separately, they're really quite nifty. I've actually used this as a bug net to sleep on the ground before, but I've never used it with a hammock. So yeah, looking forward to giving it a try. The beer's almost done, so I reckon I'm gonna yeah, jump into my hammock and yeah, get a book out and just yeah, relax for a bit. So I will see you guys in the morning. Cheers. Definitely time for coffee. Oh, a bit wobbly. So not one of the best nights of sleep I've ever had in the bush, that's for sure. Last night there was just a couple of horses. You could just hear them running around, and it's kind of a fairly disconcerting noise when you're sleeping in quite an exposed position like this. So yeah, kind of kept one eye open last night, to be honest. Alright, I'm going to need a nice strong coffee this morning, and probably a couple of them. Oh, far out, I'm tired. Nice hot cup of coffee is going to fix this though. Can fix most things. The little bug net from Alton Goods worked out a treat. It's pretty easy to put on there, and inside it felt like there was plenty of room. So yeah, it's a nice little addition to a hammock, and it's good you can retrofit it to an existing hammock. You don't need to have it built in. For anyone who slept in a hammock before and used a sleeping pad rather than an underquilt, I think that was also one of the reasons why I didn't have such a good sleep last night. To kind of keep that pad from sliding around in the hammock is really hard. So yeah, you kind of find yourself in weird spots when you wake up in the middle of the night. I'm pretty keen to get an underquilt. I really want to see what hammock camping is like at its best. Unfortunately, I live in a climate where probably 3/4 of the year I can't get away without having some insulation. So yeah, I think an underquilt is the way to go. Alright, some bacon goodness. I'm going to make some bacon egg muffins. Now unfortunately I have to cook all this bacon because the my ice brick is no longer ice. Tragedy, I know, but I reckon I might be able to get through it. Oh, that smells amazing. Just trying to turn this down as low as it goes. These stoves are designed to boil water really quickly, so they get very, very hot. So yeah, you just need to be conscious of that when you're cooking meals that are probably stretching the capability somewhat. And for those of you who are worried, I have checked the branches behind me. I did that last night. Oh yeah. Oop. Bit of sticking action going on. It's just getting a little bit too hot for the pan. And the bacon's starting to stick, even though it's a non-stick pan. So I think I've got some oil in here, which I'm just trying to find now. I'll probably squeeze my last piece on now. Alright, I was just giving you guys a close-up of the bacon, but I think I just ran out of gas, so just putting a, yeah, that's done. Putting a new canister on. And I've got a beautiful new Bushcraft knife, which I'll show you after breakfast. Beautiful knife from Ironbark Knives. Really, really happy with this blade. It's absolutely beautiful. Alright, the bacon's crisping up beautifully. Oh, one of my eggs broke in transit. It still should be alright. Alright. Just putting my bacon in there to warm up again. Try and get a little bit of heat in my muffins. Don't really have a plate. Guess I can use the bottom of my pot lid. Couple of bits of bacon. I'll put it there. Oh. It's like a table. Oh, it's hot. A little bit of salt and pepper. And that is the breakfast of champions. So even though I have another day up my sleeve, I think I will head home today. I'm just pretty exhausted and I've got so much on at the moment that, yeah, if I left it another day, even if I just sat around here and did nothing, by the time I got home tomorrow, I'd just be completely wiped out. I think I'll just take a few minutes. I've put the effort in to come down here, so yeah, why not spend just a little bit of time with my coffee and, yeah, just enjoy the fresh air and the sound of the river. So as you can probably hear, it's raining. The good thing is the way I've set up, this tarp can stay up. I can get everything else packed up and then do that last. So I should be able to keep everything nice and dry, and then yeah, I'll chuck the jacket on and start walking out. Of course, because I didn't take you guys along for much of the journey on the walk in, I will take you guys on the walk out. Alrighty, the rain stopped. I'm on the trail. This is like a horse trail, I think. There's plenty of hoof prints on it. Yeah, interesting little trail. There's a whole network of these everywhere. I came a different way on the way in, so I'm pretty sure there's just horses forging trails everywhere. Pretty beautiful country though. I'm up about 50 meters above the river. So yeah, pretty specky. There's actually an old either farm trail or fire trail, which is probably about half a kilometre from where I am now. So once I hit that, the walking will be fairly easy back to the car. So yeah, this area would have once have been a grazing lease, and before that, of course, it would have been indigenous land. And now it's national park. Just gonna have a quick look at the maps and see what the best way to go is. If I can, I'm gonna try and stay on this side of the creek, on the river. So it looks like trying to stay on this side of the river is probably not such a good idea. It gets pretty steep. But on the other side I can see it's a river flat. So I think I'll go down, cross the river, hit the flat and then cross again. There's a bit of just trying to read the land as much as you can. And just because the trail goes up this way doesn't mean it's the best way to go. All things considered, it's a beautiful little river. I've actually seen some trout in the river too. Only small ones, but we'll have to remember that for the future if I ever come back. So a few of you might be wondering why I'm crossing the river so much and not just trying to find a way across along one side of the bank. I'll show you. Just up here is a really good example of why. So you can see here that the bank on this side really closes in and pinches the river, and then you've got some rock but really steep ground on that side. So I probably could find a way through there, but the way I look at it is it's just not worth the risk. That is much easier. Whoa, check out these mushrooms, or some sort of fungi. That is my foot for comparison. Ginormous. There's actually another one over here too. Look at those. Actually, that one looks a little bit rude. Amazing. Just saw two wild dogs. There they are up there. Yeah, run away boys, run away. God, they're big animals too. Get out of here. Really glad they took off. That's only the second time I've ever seen wild dogs. Good thing was they're as scared of me as I am of them. So I'm just picking up a faint trail again. Have a look at the amount of horse poo. God, it's just absolutely everywhere here. Just climbed a pretty steep little climb, but I'm back now on the main trail. This must have been an old farm access road or something back in the day. There's not a lot left of it now, but it does make for a pretty easy walking, which is nice. Oh, I'm right up here above the river. Beautiful stuff. It's about 25 past 11. Can't actually remember what time I started walking. I've probably been walking for about 50 minutes. I'm doing pretty well. I've got about 2 to 3 kilometers left, so more than halfway. This bit's fairly easy, so it shouldn't take me very long. Unfortunately, it's been raining for the last half hour or so, so I haven't been able to do much filming, and it looks like it's going to stick around. So yeah, look, I think I might leave it there, guys. I just wanted to say a really big thank you to you guys. The comments that I got from my last video were so encouraging and supportive. It was really, really appreciated, and it very much motivates me to come out here and do these sorts of things. So yeah, thank you guys, you rock. If you have any questions, please let me know below. If you wouldn't mind, give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, that'd be great. And if you haven't already, and if you're not subscribed, please consider doing so. It really does help the channel out. From a very soggy, well, not very soggy, from a partially wet Aussie bush, we'll see you next time. Cheers guys, bye.